Hi everybody, I'm back with video 8 for Guitar Class 102. Today is going to be our last video until I see you guys again, hopefully in private lessons. Today I'm going to cover our power chords. Last week we finished up with the A minor scale and the E minor scale, learning the notes on the A and low E string. So just to review that real quick, we have open A, 2nd fret B, then C right next to it. Shift your first finger to D, 3rd finger E, 4th finger F, shift over to G, and 3rd finger A on the 12th fret. On the way down, A, G, 4th finger F, 3rd finger E, 1st finger D, 2nd finger C, B, and A. The low E string, we have E, we have F sharp, and G, 1st finger A, 3rd finger B, 4th finger C, shift your 1st finger to D on the 10th fret, and then 3rd finger E, back down, E, D, 4th finger C, 3rd finger B, 1st finger A, 2nd finger G, 1st finger F sharp, and then your low E again. Okay, so we've already discussed our open power chords. Okay, remember they're going to be a 2 or a 3 note chord, usually consisting of your root note, which in this case, the first one I have in this little diagram that I handed out last night is the E form of the power chord. Alright, with your low E note. Alright, and then the B on the 2nd fret, 5 notes above it, and then this voicing that you have here is including your octave note, the E on the 2nd fret D string. Okay, let me tighten in for you a little bit. So that is what the open position power chord is going to look like. Alright, you can do it with 1 finger, like that. You can do it with 2 and 3. Alright, and I recommend that you do it with 3 and 4. Alright, you see that my 3rd finger's on the 2nd fret A string and my 4th finger's going to go right below it. And that's to help you get into the movable form of the bar chord, a power chord shape, which you see right next to the open E chord is the F power chord. So what you can do is take these 2 fingers, alright, and then slide them up 1 fret, and then add your 1st finger to the 1st fret, and what you have here is your movable power chord shape. Okay, you'll have 1 finger on the E string, okay, then the other 2 fingers will be 2 frets away on the A and the D string. Alright, you can do it like that with your 3rd and 4th finger. Alright, you can also try this and bar the A and D string. Alright, if you're having a hard time with that, another way of playing the power chord is just with 2 notes and with your 1st finger and your 4th finger like this. Obviously your fingers wouldn't be down like this, but that's just to show you what it would look like. And that's another way of doing it. I recommend at least using 1 and 3 so you can start to develop this kind of stretch. Okay? You want to keep this shape consistent as you're moving up and down the neck. You'll always have 1 empty fret between your 1st and 3rd and 4th fingers all the time. So you want to maintain this shape up and down the neck as you're moving the pattern and changing chords. The A power chord shape is going to be the same thing, except we're starting on the A string. Okay, so this will be your A power chord. Alright, now if we do it with 3 and 4, move that up 1, and then your 1st finger goes to A, the A string. Now it's a B flat movable power chord. On the 2nd fret, it would be B, then moving right up, C, so on and so on. So one of the first exercises we went over was simply going up and down the E and the A string, playing the minor scales, but playing them using power chords. So, real simple way to practice your power chords: start with the open A chord, alright, then move to the 2nd fret for the B chord, B, and then move over a half step for C, then a whole step down for D, whole step for E, half step for the F, whole step for G, whole step for A. Alright, then back down you have the A, then G, F, then E, then D, C, B, then A. Okay? Remember, you can kind of do the open power chord however you want with whatever fingering, but just for the practice of it, it's really easy to use 3 and 4, slide it over, and then add your first finger. But you can kind of do it however you would like. Alright? So again, we're just playing the A minor scale, but we're playing it in power chords. So you have A, you can see that, and then B's on the 2nd fret. And this really helps in just solidifying where these chords are. D, now you can do the same thing for the E power chords. Alright? You have E, slide up a whole step, F sharp, then G, whole step to A, whole step to B, whole step to C, whole step to D, and then you end up on E again, the 12th fret, back down. Okay, try and maintain that finger pattern all the way up and down the neck. Make sure your thumb stays in line with your middle finger or index finger the entire time. Don't let it slide behind or wrap over the top or anything like that. Alright, and just try and maintain that finger pattern as you're sliding up and down. Okay, playing through the scales like this is great because it gives you that relationship from moving one to the next. It also will help you identify, again, all the natural notes. So if you know where all the natural notes, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, you know where all the sharps and flats are. Okay? So a few of the tunes that I had for you to work on to practice these. The first one was Iron Fingers, and then the second one was Iron Fingers Part 2. This is obviously, it's an exercise based off of the riff from Iron Man. It's not the actual tune Iron Man, it's just an exercise based off the riff, focusing on some of the hardest parts of the tune. The first part, alright, is there's just those big jumps that you have from one fret to the next with the power chords, alright, and you'll see that here. So we have B, then it goes D, D, E, E. Okay, that's the first measure. Okay, the next measure is the same thing, just in reverse. Then it repeats. Okay, Iron Fingers Part 2 is based off of the other hard part of this riff, and that's the going between the G, F sharp, G, and F sharp, this half step motion. Surprisingly, this can be one of the harder parts of the tune, sliding these fingers back and forth. So you have G, F sharp, G, F sharp, G, D, G, F sharp, G, F sharp, G, D. And you do that 3 times in a row, so you're working the hardest part of that riff 3 times in a row. Okay? Always be thinking ahead when you have these big jumps. Try to look at the fret that you're jumping to. For example, at the end of the tune, I'm jumping from the 12th or the 10th position all the way down to the 5th position. Alright? So while you're here on this chord, you want your eyes to be here, so when you slide back, you don't miss that fret. Alright? You always want to be thinking ahead. So, all together one more time on that. Okay, and of course the riff actually is. practice those exercises a few times and you can put the whole riff together pretty easily if you can do these exercises I wrote out for you. On the next page you have power chord blues. You've played a power chord blues before with the open chords, but this is just to practice the same kind of progression using the movable patterns, which are obviously going to be a little bit different. Okay, we start out with the A power chord on the low E string at the 5th fret, and then we have the D5 power chord directly below that with your finger on the A string, because that's where our root is for the D chord. And then our next chord is going to be the E chord, the E5 power chord, at the 7th fret, again with the root on the A string. So this will get you some good practice using the two forms together, because it's rare where we're actually just sliding a power chord up and down, up and down. Few songs do it, but it's really more efficient to move this way. So, power chord blues in A. I can see that my battery life is running low, so I want to end the video now. The last tune that I had for you was a riff based on the Smells Like Teen Spirit riff, so you can just take a look. I'll do it real quick for you. Sorry to have to rush, but I don't want the battery to die on me. So here you go, starting with an F5 power chord, then B flat power chord directly underneath of that, A flat on the E string, 4th fret, then D flat on the A string, 4th fret, then you repeat it back to F, and B flat, A flat, D flat. Alright, and that you can repeat that as many times as you want. Again, not exactly the song, but just enough to get you moving this power chord pattern around. Like I said before, these are really important to learn. This will help you with your understanding of bar chords and just your knowledge of the neck overall. So I hope to see everybody in private lessons sometime soon. I hope you have a good summer if you're going to be taking a break for the summer, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.